Alright. So back with a little bit more. The Roottrees are dead. I haven't, I think the last time I played this was Thursday and now it's Saturday, so it's been a little bit. Some of the information will have probably slipped my mind, but I'd rather keep on it than, really let it go. Alright. So, let's get back into it. I'm specifically playing this to avoid taking a nap. So, my brain might be a little bit on the sleepy side, and I might not be as fast and as sharp as normal, but, we'll give it a go. Okay, right, okay, so yeah, I immediately remember that last time I was here I unlocked this, this thing right here with a ton of information. And that was kind of what led me to pause, was realizing how much I was about to deep dive on this, because this, as it put on the search thing, was this was the jackpot. Oh man, okay. Yeah, the jackpot. So, alrighty. Okay, so there was Clark, Jacob, which means that the other, I think I have this solved. Clark, Chris, and then Jacob. So she was an author, we're happy with that. Still don't know if we've got their occupations right. I assume both of those have changed occupations. I was pretty confident with this picture being a photo of her because of the album. Or the combination of the album artwork and the interviews. This just is correct. It was just handed to us. Okay, about these kids. This one's in film school. I'm trying to just go through everything I remember. This should be accurate unless he's changed jobs. So as it stands right now, we've only got 2 people, so nothing should validate. Also, this right here is going to have something to do with that. There was EC Roottrees, the egg cream. He's not on here, so I think there's something to do with that. So, yeah, there's 5, but the somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd, I think there was some shenanigans. But all right, let's get back to this. So, Lauren Roottree was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth, which makes sense, granddaughter, cool. On her father's side, what does that mean? Okay, so this is going to be her dad, that's what that means. Her mother's family was called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. So, her father, who she always refers to as Pop. So, C.E. Roottrees. Let me make a note about this. Clancy Edward Roottrees might be called Pop. I know that that's an exceptionally common nickname for dads, but I'm sure they're not going to double it up in the game. So he was the head lawyer and called the Clance Trust, which I will definitely need to search for at some point. It's clear from context that they have different names, right? Okay. And I'd mentally analyzed this. We've got the 5 pieces. That's these right here. Although arguably there's actually 6. The next generation is Lauren's generation, which is right here. Which, this entire 2nd row, except right here, it kicks up. And I think Miracle Roottrees would be a part of this. And that's going to follow here as well. This one is called, I think, the Free Generation or something, the Free Spirits. Yeah, the Free Spirits. And then the Free Spirits is this main one with Carl on it. But, importantly, Miracle Jr. is a part of this generation because Miracle up here was born 14 years after Margaret here, Margaret. So I think this generation, just because of age, seems to kick down a notch. Okay. Before I go anywhere, the fact that this has this review, I wonder if periodicals, Public County Times, they clearly reviewed the book. Lauren Roottrees. Let's get that on copy paste. Yep. They go into a bit of Lauren's history. She wrote some romance books involving historical figures such as pirates and knights that released under her married name Rafferty. Her diary has been released under her birth name. The reviewer gives it a 4 out of 5 and claims it captures the evolution and perspective from adolescence to adulthood and a true feeling of change in society across multiple decades. They call special attention to the author's recollection of the day she heard that her husband Jacob died in the war, and how times have changed in the more than 20 years between the first and last diary entry. The writer of the review mentions that because the majority of interactions in the book took place in Butler County, including many locations they personally recognized, it made everything feel more real and perhaps contribute to a higher score than one could receive otherwise. Okay, and then you can find it at your local library. So nothing here particularly useful, except maybe this Rafferty thing if you didn't already know it. But I already knew that. There's possibles. I think there's ways that I figured that out that were metagaming because this was the last star that I hadn't used that was an obvious female. Are there any more notables? Not that I see. No. Okay. So they did the review. Nothing really else there. But it says you go to the periodicals, but I've already gone to the periodicals and gotten it this way. So. All right. So let's move on. Entry entitled Complaints from the diary, written in 53. The entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwen. Okay, Gwen, that's her. Cool. She's the actress. Which I guess actor solves. Everyone has something to complain about. Gwen as an only child, which, yep, confirms that this is the right line to be on, because it could be here as well. We already have her confirmed, so. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Okay, so she's got 3 younger brothers, so okay, and we already knew that 2 of them were male because they passed on their name, but now we know this one's also a male, so let's put that in. She's got 3 younger brothers, which again confirms that this oldest to youngest thing does apply everywhere, which I think we already knew, but good reminder. During the summer where I went to... Am I reading that right? During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I'd never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. Aunt Margot. That means yes, okay. What a mess, but she just complained to her I was the lucky cousin. So Aunt Margot is also blonde. So if we go back now to this photo, Margot is going to be here, which means, yep, this is now Margot. Cool. What a mess, but she just complained to her I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living a glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me, even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in starlit and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by a terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwen. That's a good bit of perspective. Okay, is there anything else to pull out of this? We already knew that she'd had relationships with these two. Her being Gwen. The problem was Bill Williams and Harrison Lane neither show up in this list. Confirm. Yep. So neither of them show up in this list, which means that either the parents, the dad of these is different, or those guys ran a different... Yeah, I guess I'm gonna put out no mail there. Not sure. So I don't think there's really anything else to go with on this, so let's move on. An entry titled Dynasty, written in 58, focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president and the meeting to determine his successor. Okay. I wish I'd been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. So this is important because there's two Clancys. There's this Clancy Edward Roottrees, and then there's... I think it's... There's a question about whether this is Clancy Roottrees or Clancy... No, it's just Edward Roottrees, isn't it? Or E. Roottrees. Alright, hold on, let me take a step back, because now I'm... E or EC. So we've got G, that's your grape, cool. And that doesn't change between this ad and the next ad. G is always for grape, and then E is for elderberry, both times. But elderberry could be any of these four. And then after that, where would Clancy Jr. go? Clancy Jr. is probably this one. Your first son would usually get the junior nickname. Wrong in remembering that. So the question is whether the third one should be EC or CE. And this one, CE, is fourth, but it gets pushed to third once EC gets taken out. And EC could be several people, because it could be either Elias C or I mean, any of these could have a middle name. Either of these two could have a middle name that's a C. But if that's not EC, which it feels like it's not, oh right, okay, no, I'm confusing this. This one, the second one is one of these E's, period. The end. The third one is either Clancy Edward or probably Elias C. But I think we are meant to not count EC. I think that's this inconsistency that's going to end up on this little thing right here. So anyway, it's weird that she's referring to him here as Clancy. So I'm assuming that, yeah, see, she's referring to him Pop here. So there's Pop and Clancy. So we're now talking about Clancy Jr. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy. Okay. So none of his sons would take over: architects, preachers, and lawyers. Okay. Alright, well, you know you're a lawyer. We've already established that. So that means the other son is an architect. Because the wives, the daughters here, which is going to be Gwendolyn and Marguerite, these are both going to be housewives. That was a lot of those that had been pending for a long time.
You're listening to
Roottrees dead.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottree's belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Roottree family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
Roottrees dead. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in my history so that I don't have to worry about it. Investigative jazz. Man, I can tell that I am sleepy. Okay, Rootree Chris, I need to look that up. I just wanna roll over and go to sleep. Still December 6th. We made it like 2 hours through the night. I don't want to forget to go back to that, but WRTD News is your local investigative jazz radio station. During their news segments, they've been talking about the plane crash. The most recent hour, they also talked about a picture taken from his office after the plane crash and promised to interview online. During the interview, it's revealed there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. So this is our shadowy figure. This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the Rootree curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." So, naturally, we're going to have to search for this. Long, rambly website. With very small, very red text on a black background that says the Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the Roottree company have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver, so he's one of the presidents, this Guy. Do we already have that in our book? I feel like, yep, we did. This President Guy had a... Can I edit this note? No, okay. President Guy Hudson killed in car wreck in 82. I don't think that note will be useful, but... then Ernie Madsen Jr. Okay, so we've had the name Ernie Jr. a lot, yeah. Man, this is a great note that I wrote to myself. Then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. Okay. So... let's see here. So Ernie will be somewhere along here. Now, I've seen the Madsens elsewhere, but I don't have them placed anywhere, I don't think. I thought from... let me just look at the Madsen name. Okay, that's possibly his wife. So... That means this is gonna be Nicole Smith. Because there's no way Nicole Madsen is gonna be a daughter of Ernie Madsen, and I would be shocked if he married his cousin. All this is the kind of family where that shit happens. Okay. Oh, I just realized my GeoGuessr is playing audio in the background. I hope that has not been coming through this whole time. Kind of fit with the vibe, so. Interesting. Okay. This says guardian adoption, otherwise that's what this string is. Is that what this string over here means? This one has confused me. I'm not quite sure why this is stringed off in such a unique way. Because this split up doesn't use that string for a spout for a child, whereas this one does. And I don't know why this one's different. This X. Okay, so these two had a kid, and that kid was later adopted by the spouse, and I guess this one was emancipated. Interesting. Okay. There's another entry that claims that if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull. A secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. The author of the site seems to agree. There's a Mayan ruby skull. A symbol of death. The alleged proof is a blurry photo of a reddish shape that is supposedly a cave painting from South America. According to legend, discovered beneath the painting were bones from hundreds of different people and animals. One site also mentions that the photographer who took the picture died when their boat capsized after crashing into a skull-shaped rock. Oh, there's more to this. Goodness, I almost missed that. The way it ended like perfectly. Although I guess I had to scroll down to get to it in the first place, but when I came back to it, it auto-loaded me to here. I almost missed that. There's no way this goes anywhere right. Isn't a strong enough description for what you're seeing here. It's a massive column of technical terms that aren't real and confusing rants that you can't find any meaning with. That's funny. An entry from a few months ago seems to agree that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff. Okay, Chris Rafferty. So this is the kind of thing it feels like your son would care about. Maybe not. I don't think. Chris Rafferty asked the owner of the site to take down the site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The proof looks credible, but he knows that it was fake. The first entries from 1996 has a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company factory, seemingly taken by the website's author from behind a fence and through some trees. Seems that Operation RT-29 is real. Some people out there claim that the Roottrees are changing the candy recipe to include more and more chemicals. This was done in cooperation with bad actors from an unknown government. Due to a loophole in the calendar, it is possible to get away with nearly any crime on a leap day so long as it isn't discovered until after the day is over, and that every 4 years on the leap year the Roottrees Company hosts a meeting with foreign agents to conspire to poison our children. I love it. The proof is that the Roottrees candies contain polyglycerol polyricinoleate. Probably said that right. Polyricinoleate? An ingredient of the candy that wasn't there when it was first released. The claim is it is added in an attempt to addict people and eventually induce mind control. The website claims to sell pills that counteract this effect for children that have already eaten Roottrees candy in the past. You do an additional search for polyglycerol polyricinoleate, because I know what ricin is, and not oleate, so polyricinoleate has to be right. Polyglycerol polyricinoleate, and it seems to be an emulsifier in chocolates approved by the FDA and widely used across many products. I mean, can I just search it anyway and see what happens? Or... okay, same thing. Alright, I don't think I'm getting anything else from this. 1998 was not a leap year. But the leap years might come into effect elsewhere. Alright, what if I go to... an ISP that offers email services and web hosting. Customers choose a unique screen name, then Prodigy, right? Prodigy automatically creates an email address and a simple website they can add and share with other people. Not everyone with the service makes a website, but if they do, you can usually find it by searching for their screen name. So, does that mean he worked there? Looks like not. He did not work there, so let's just go ahead and... Pix Pop? Yeah, okay, that's great. That's not how you spell fiance. The Art of Rafferty, copyright 97. Below a bunch of gifts, say under construction. There are a few art pieces. The first is a painting captioned "Me and my fiance, Lulu." Okay, let's assume they got married. That's not necessarily guaranteed. Lulu is a common nickname for Laura. But Luisa Garcia is obviously another option. I'm willing to bet it's probably Luisa Garcia, but because there's Laura here, which I just happen to know Lulu is a semi-common nickname for Laura, I'm not going to guess it because I don't want to force it. Oh, this one, okay. Chris Rafferty's self-portrait. Yeah, you're a handsome fella. Alright, that's definitely going to be a Louisa. Bit of racial stereotyping there, but I don't think. Right, we don't know. A painting I did for my first year of college that I'm going to get married in May. Go Tarpons. Alright, so is he an artist then? That should not have validated, correct? Yeah, he's the only one that I have all three things for. Cool. They look happy. This is Chris Rafferty's cousin's art project, and it's said to include pictures of Davy, he swims for Yukon, Bethany's yearbook picture, Davy's younger sister, and Stephanie, who's an only child. Perhaps you could extract them using an application on your PC. I'm sure I could, but we're going to get to that in a second, because first we're going to get... So, cousins. For him... Okay, once again, cousins share grandparents, but not parents. So... Wouldn't these be his only cousins? These 5 right here? Even then, no. I don't think they would. Is it just saying anyone on the same line? That's not true. I don't think. Let's go back to this definition. Cousins share the same grandparents, but not the same parents. Unfortunately for Lauren, she only ever had one kid. I mean, not unfortunately for her, but unfortunately for me solving this, she never had any other kids, so he has no cousins. He has second cousins, these 5. They share the same great-grandparents, which would have been Clancy Edward and Sarah Cassell. That makes it down to these. But, you know, maybe you just call people cousins anyway. And then everyone on this row is third cousins. So maybe he's just being loose with the word cousin. Alright, Davy and Bethany and then Stephanie. So this could be Davy and Bethany. Any of these 3 could be Stephanie, and these could be Davy and Bethany. I'm much more inclined to think it's this side for some reason. Alright, well, let's go extract them. Alright, zoom with your mouse wheel. There we go. Oh, it circles around, okay. Dichotomy? That's a word very strangely, that's a word I use way too often. So this is... That's probably Stephanie. Bifurcation. Let's just go deal with these other ones. Okay, rotate. Just assume that the words are normal. Oh, man. Oh, can I rotate both ways? I can. Joy. Alright. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's kind of a cool little twist on it. Okay, neat. Can I just like collapse and... Oh, I can't. Okay, so how do I get... Okay, I think I see it. Gonna move you down, then you over, then you up, then you over. Okay, that's good. That's interesting. Very unique. Alright, got those together. Unfortunately for me, I do think this is probably one where I'm just kind of gonna, I don't want to say brute force it, but this is not gonna be the most elegant solution by any stretch. Alright, yeah, I thought that was right. Alright. So I need to be able to get that. Let's get these. Nope, no, actually, I do want those together. Okay, so actually, move you and you, you and you, you and you. Cool. No. Okay, like I said, kind of an interesting conceptual puzzle, but not too actually hard. Somewhat strange, but not that difficult. The accompanying artist statement says we had to create a piece of art about our family. I asked as many of my extended family of cousins for their pictures as I could, even some I've never met. Only a few of them got back to me, and my teacher said I wasn't allowed to use pictures of Raina, Riley, or Rose. So I had to get creative and use only my third cousins. There we go. So yeah, we are now 100% locked into either these two or these two. And then Stephanie is gonna be one of these. But so Davy swims for Yukon. That is going to, I'm highlighting that because that means he's a college student. Copyright 1997. I guess that's close enough in time to assume that he's still there. Okay. Is it? Is it fair to say that he's still in college if this wasn't a year ago? A painting I did for my first year of college that I plan to give her when we get married in May. They are now married. So this would have been written in 1997. They were not yet married. It's also not how you spell copyright, but I'm just sleepy enough that this is difficult, but I don't want to go to sleep. I'm trying to fight the sleep. Okay, so the order that we have here is Guy was 3rd, Ernie was 4th, and Carl was 5th. So Guy Hudson would have been either one of these two. Yeah, I think that's it. I think he would have had to have been one of these two, because we know this is a male. Does that clear up any confusion regarding this? E is for elderberry, or EC is for egg cream. I think we knew the whole time that was a male. There's no real female name that would have worked. Yeah, so that doesn't change anything. But all right, so one of these two is Guy Hudson, which means she marries a Hudson. It's gonna have to be Christopher Hudson. And then Bonnie and Guy are their kids, so she's just gonna be a housewife. Because so can I find Gwendolyn Roottrees? I think I can. It should be pretty easily in here. Who are you? What's going on with you back there, bud? This is the 5 pieces. The picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and deal with that real quick. So you're the lawyer. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. So Eli Jr. is an architect. So that does solve now, I think, pretty conclusively this solution. So they're skipping egg cream. And because elderberry could have been any. The E was one of these 4. And now we know that there was an architect, and this seems to be confirming. How'd it go? That he was an architect because he was designed the building. So the question is, who are you? Who is this? And also, who is this? Eli. Eli M. And so... Eli M. Okay. So we still have... I think this is going to be Mr. Egg Cream in here. Clancy Jr. is going to be one of these sons. I have to imagine it's this one, but I'm not going to lock it in just on likelihood. Okay, let me keep looking at this picture now. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. Obviously that's Miracle because he's so much younger than everyone else. But that makes me think I've done something wrong, because I think there's now 3. You are locked in, you are locked in, and you are locked in. So something's wrong somewhere. And in fact, no, okay. So what have I gotten wrong here? Pop, which is Clancy Edwards. Had it framed, that's him on the left. Looks like a lawyer, that makes sense. Taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I, said Lauren, both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it, and 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. So Angie and I. Who is Angie? That's not one I'm particularly familiar with. So Lauren, Gwen. So Angie, this is kind of what I was talking about, where it kind of like it kicks up right here because there's so much, these are so much younger. So we know these are all males. Okay, we can't have that kid yet. So this is the Hudsons, so this has to be Angie, doesn't it? Angie Morton? Yeah, I am pretty confident that you are Angie Morton, which means you married a Morton. Okay, there's a bunch of them. But why would you have not had the last name Roottrees? Maybe that's not the case. I'm gonna pull that off. Was he a preacher? I know that there's some... I don't... Man, there was some good info on... Yeah. So, I mean, he did do that, so... Mr. Morton, there you go. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo, since Miracle was in it, and the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which didn't really go over that well. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morton, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Alright, well, I'm gonna see what I got wrong here. Those all make sense. Yep. Cool. Fine.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it, but I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed. I'm a Roottrees. I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of. If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more, in person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Okay. So, I got this wrong. So, artist is not his job, which I'm okay with that. So, if I'm looking at this, then the only one of them I don't have locked in is this middle guy. So this has to be Elias Jr. Who are you? That's who I want to know. Are you just... See, I can take a photo of you. That's real interesting. He's named right here, so I feel like that has to be who that is. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo. So this is being documented by Lauren Roottrees. And there's an Angie who let me just type out my thought here. I don't even know how to articulate where my discomfort is there, so I left it at that. Still have a lot of clues to go. I'm just trying to pull everything I can out of every clue. I'm pretty much 100% locked in on that one. Yeah, don't really have anything here. I don't know her, the one that she had kids with. Can I just identify? Because I want to. Okay, so this is in absolutely no order correlated with this. Because first this is Miracle Jr., then Eli, then this could be Bonnie. But like Carl is second to last, Eli's over here. Who's this youngin'? It's strange that... I mean, that's locked in now. That was Miracle Roottrees Jr. Because they were strict in the photos that it should be just the 5 pieces. But then in in this photo, I wonder, is he there? Let me go back to it. No, this is, actually, is it? Alright, pretty comfortable and happy with that. Alright, so I've opened another clue here. An attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one, but I was outvoted by my brothers. So this is going to be Eli then, because he kind of looks most like Pop. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. Behind and in front of us. And the only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. So this is Eli, I'm pretty sure. Can we compare? It looks pretty. It looks like he's wearing like a tan jacket, lawyerly, blonde hair. Nope, wrong photo. Well, these are all just connected. Okay. There you go. Tan jacket, blonde hair. Looks rather lawyerly. It's possible it could be him, but I don't think so. So this is another photo of Lauren Roottrees. So we've got Eli C. He's gonna. Ooh, maybe not. Man. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge after all these years. So, this is Sam? And who's this? I don't know either of these people. With our generation. So, this is... okay. Who are you? Okay. Gwen was not photographed, so this is probably... Could you possibly be this person? I don't see why you'd be standing far away if that was your dad. So this is definitely Lauren and her 3 younger brothers. This one I think is Eli. Yep. Okay, so this is Guy and Bonnie. But this is Sam. This feels like a Bonnie. What else am I missing here? I know these are the brothers. Her 3 younger brothers. Grandma insisted we include Sam even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. So he's the weird one in the family, which is going to mean this one, right? Like he's the only one that doesn't, like, track. So here's the other problem. This person right here, maybe that's Is this Miracle's wife? Helen? No, because there's no photo slot. Who are you two? So this is, I'm pretty confident in saying that this is Sam. Right, I am wrong. Cool. Oh wait, never mind. There's photos right here. This is Sam, and no one knows why he was included. Oh, never mind. We got a whole bit of. Or do we? Hold on. I don't think we actually do. Do we have... Where's the photo? Let's see. Grandma insisted we include Sam even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. That's very much so possibly, very possibly, Samantha. This could be Guy, and this could be Bonnie. That would make a lot of sense. And then this could be Sam or Samantha. Which is why she's standing in the back and why she looks so different to everybody else. So... I think this is Guy. Guy Hudson, Bonnie Hudson. And then is this Samantha? Oh, I don't have her yet. Sam Cattrall. No, Sam is a guy's name there. I saw Samantha, didn't I? Or am I going crazy? Did I see Stephanie and assume it said Samantha? I think I did. No, Samantha. Okay, there was a Samantha. I think that has to be. Because... it's gonna come down this way, like the names. Oh, they've got Bright here. But like, why would they be standing so far apart? They both have kind of this curly orange hair. This is much browner than hers, but... I'm not delighted about these guesses, or these, even the photos. It feels slightly too speculative to me so far. So far, this is the only one I've got that I'm like confident in. Okay, I got a lot more clues though. I don't need to stop here. Something middle school. gosh, I didn't even make it that far. Granddad was furious. This is Elias. He was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. Architects, preachers, and lawyers, nobody's got time for candy, so the 5 pieces refusing to step up became down to us next gens. Which is how we got to... Okay, so none of these took over as president. Somewhere along here, Male did. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we have the Roottrees name. I'm not sure Clancy would have wanted it. He's the one who was volunteered. Instead it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Firstborn? See, I knew I was wrong about these. I was so uncomfortable. I'm just pulling all these off. I don't like any of them. Take them all. That's probably a little bit over scrubbing, but whatever. Okay, let's read this. Zach is the firstborn son, not necessarily of the firstborn 5-piece. So, C. Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Morden. President second. Okay, so I think that also makes something else line up more. Maybe. Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. So, yeah. Zachariah Morden, and then do we have a daughter Morden? Caroline. Or Angelica. Oh, Angie. Because they were the same age. And so... she will lose the Morden name. And then these will become the next Mordens. Caroline and Gwendolyn Morden. I say unknown female. I wish I could write more than that. This will be an unknown male. Unknown female. Okay, so yeah, we've got Caroline. I think those are going to be over here. So we got Caroline Morden and Gwendolyn Morden. What's Gwyneth in? Gwyneth Madsen. Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottrees, Clark, Carl, and Eli. Okay. So is this Zach? Uh-oh. I hear somebody. Alright, my daughter has awoken, so I am probably going to go hang out with her for a little bit. But I do want to finish this thought process, so I think here we've got the Mordens. Maybe these are the Mordens. Because their hair is just similar enough to give me concern. These people are standing like this weird triangle, like none of them are related or connected at all. That part's so strange to me. Firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. I kind of low-key pointed that out, but didn't do a great job of even convincing myself. President's second. Unknown. Likely a housewife, but... And I'm next oldest of us all. But that doesn't really matter. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma I wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catchy remarks, countered back, maybe they wanted to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Okay. It's a bit mean. Alright, so I've got two that I'm very confident in. And we can also undo this because that is now wrong. So we've got Caroline and whatever the other one is. Gwendolyn. Those are going to be over here. And you switch all this around. I got a little bit out ahead of my skis there. Okay. Alright, let me see if I can finish these two real quick. This might be too much work, like too much mental effort, but an entry entitled Sam from Lauren Roottrees' diary. From a previous entry, you learn that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Gwyneth is, yeah, her. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters, and Granny had a brother too, but I was told trim their branches from the family tree, so why is Sam special? Nothing adds up. And I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's party wedding to Patsy last year. Okay, this is being written by Lauren. Lauren was at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. So her uncle. Okay, that's her. Oh my gosh, I work with a person named Patricia Christensen. She doesn't go by Patsy, she goes by Patty. But, that's funny. So, is that... At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Oh, what's wrong, darling? What's wrong? Do you want to sit with me? Okay, come on up. Oh, how you doing? Are you having a good day? Yeah. It's a good Saturday? Oh, you want a passy? Okay. Just this once. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands E.C. and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Interesting, okay. So, I mean, this is just continues pushing this idea that it's complicated. It's right here. This is what's complicated. I think this is Sam. But I think we've now had he's. No, we've never had Sam's gender used. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. So this is Sam. Like, it's either Sam... It has to be Sam Roottrees. Clancy. So, I think, yeah, we're just talking about the brother. The brother here. Swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, E.C. and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are on the books. So E.C. and John. Who's John? John's a name I haven't heard before. John Roottrees? No. John. We don't have a John, I don't think. Unless I've already locked it in. Okay, well, that'll be for later. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Even chimed in. What's that? You're not getting no. You're not getting a brother. I'm sorry. Eli, Miracle's youngest. So this is an Eli. The question is which one. And I guess based on this photo, maybe this is a bit too overthinking it. I think that's gonna be Eli M. So let's. I'm gonna be pretty confident in that and lock it in. Eli M. Roottrees, and that is you. The facial similarities are through the roof. The blonde hair is similar. They're standing next to each other. We have what I believe is EC is got to be this one. And then, like, that's one of her brothers. And she's also got Clancy. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider is cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup. Why is Granddad making an exception now? Okay, so, yeah, this, Sam... Here's the thing. I think we know that Sam is in this photo. Yeah, we do. So Sam is either her or her. That's it. So we know, like, without doubt, that Sam is a girl. But which one? She looks very put together and primped. She looks a little bit more... She looks a little bit more... like, just less put together. She's got like this buckle with a dress. She's got her hair all curled up, maintained, lipstick. She looks more plain, and she's got, like, you know, the scarf and kind of burlap clothing. And anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a really big aggressive guess and say that that brother is this one. There we go. Get up. Okay, I do need to get up. You're right. Okay, give me just a couple seconds to finish what I'm doing, okay? You want me to open it? Alright. One of the final entries called Clark. Clark's getting married and, in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. I think we already have this, right? Okay, well... Danielle Franks. Okay, that's pretty done. Where was I? Up in here. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. Dancers. Okay. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Okay, so we do know that now. I'm pretty confident with that. And we know that this one is... You want what?
I want paper.
You want paper? Well, this lock... I think this might... I know I don't have his occupation. What does he do? Alright, got a lot of information sitting out there right now. Okay. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring someone home who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere else south of Pennsylvania. Okay. So somebody got married to a black fella. Or black gal. And the reason I say black fella is because I think we are talking about this person, Stephanie Jones. So... that's the only thing anyone in her generation did, I think is what she said. Most rebellious thing any of us in our generation ever did. Okay, so who here... Is that right here? No, I don't think there's anywhere it can be except right here. Wait, hold on. Do we already have? Is that Stephanie? Okay. So I think this. God, I mean, I'm really starting to set up some problems. Who was this between? Alright, I think my brain's fried. I'm just sleepy enough that this is dragging on and my little girl's awake now. So I think I call it here. I've got a couple things to go on at the end of this that I really need to chase down. But I can tell it's not work. Oh, okay, well let me just at least finish this page. I definitely need to follow up on this. That's just not even a doubt. My first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods in school at the Hebrew brother. Okay. Zach's not a bad person after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Gwen is Gwen, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids with the freezer. Man, I feel like this does nothing. Raising her twins. So does that mean the order doesn't matter? No, the order obviously matters because there you go. Alright, well, I definitely have to... Really? I can't paste. Okay. And then this was Lauren. What? How is it not? Oh, I missed this. Does that mean the middle brother is Edward? I think that's what that means. I'm gonna pop this one in here. And then this is gonna be Eli C. Well, actually I have no idea that that's true. Alright, I'm way out over my skis at this point. Got some things that I need to work on that I'm just really messing around with. So I'm gonna call it here. I'm pretty happy with the progress this time. Yeah, my brain's a little soupy at the moment. So so I'm gonna go be a good dad, and I'll do some more of this later. Adios.